But Nico, I want to dive into this one because looking at the form that he's been in, and rightfully so, Christian Pulisic is getting all of the plaudits, getting all of the applause. And of course, we said it already, this is going to be an incredible 6 months for him, both for his club team and of course internationally. But I want to focus on the club form first of all. What you're seeing for him at AC Milan and the way that he's balling out. Where is he right now in terms of the plethora, in terms of world-class footballers up there in the world of football?
He's having a world-class season. I think we can't argue this. Now, what is your definition of world-class? For me, it's a little bit more limited. You need to be like the best player in your position in the world. At best, like the second best in your position. I don't think Christian Pulisic is there yet. I feel like he still has this like role player, and very important role player quality to him. And he delivers so much so that he is arguably one of the best role players in the world, where he has Milan at the top of near the top of the table, right? And vying for a Scudetto. I wouldn't categorize him yet as world class, but the consistency, like he has maintained an enviable level of consistency with Milan throughout these last couple of years. And I don't think many players in the world stayed that good for so long, week in, week out. It's like, you know, Christian's either going to score, assist, deliver somehow at Milan.
Yeah, I think this is what every U.S. fan is hoping for him to hit the heights. He's not even the center forward, right? And he's playing as a striker, banging in these goals. And you had said role player. I think that he is the main man at Milan. I don't see him as a role player. I understand what you're saying from a world-class category.
I don't mean to demean, like, at that level, but again, it's like, back to the whole conversation. Would you rather take Leão or Pulisic? You're putting a team together.
Yeah, I'd take Pulisic over Leão.
Okay.
He delivers when it counts.
I feel like he would take Rafa Leão, just looking at him.
Just like, okay, who's better, Rafa Leão or Pulisic? You know, like, I just feel like we look at Leão and we think, like, superstar. And maybe it's an American bias thing. That I don't know. I think because we know Pulisic a little bit better, I think we would both choose Pulisic. But I think to the general world, you ask Rafa Leão or Pulisic, and everybody goes Leão.
I think you ask Milan.
Why?
I think you ask Milan fans right now, and they say Pulisic because Rafa Leão has potential. He has production. He's been Milan's most reliable player in the last 3 seasons since he got there.
On that production, if he delivers a Scudetto for Milan in the form that he's in, able to maintain this from the first half to the second half of the season, where do we put him in terms of the conversation overall now?
In the world-class conversation?
Of course.
He would be there.
Yeah.
Just enough, just there? Just like, in terms of what he's doing? I mean, he's
Scott McTominay world-class last season?
He's
I think he was, bro. I think he put a world-class season together.
I think
would we consider Lautaro Martinez a world-class striker?
Lautaro?
Yeah.
Again, it's like, for me, like, world-class
These are the
to be like mega superstar. Like, he had moments, he's had several seasons where he's there, but, like, I think Julian is better than Lautaro. I don't know.
I like how we pivoted to a whole nother part of Americans. Yeah, but we are going to focus on in terms of what these guys are doing here. And Patrick Agyemang is another person that I think is in incredible form. You've seen what he's doing with Derby. For all those for the younger viewers, I was saying this earlier in production, I've never seen a player actually replicate someone else's name that played professional football and play exactly the same as him. In terms of as a target man, he's so physical, so dominating. But can he put himself into the conversation in terms of for one of those roster positions in the World Cup now?
Now you got me thinking of players not related with the same name. I'll get
it's
back
good,
to you.
Right? Same profile too.
I think he can, and number one, he has to be in good form heading into the World Cup. I don't think he is ever going to be first choice, but I just because of his sheer size and physicality, I think he's just a different profile to everything that the U.S. has in the pool, and I think that's an asset.
You mentioned form, and when Haji Wright's doing this, Patrick Agyemang is doing this, and it comes at the right time because trust is everything, right, with Mauricio Pochettino.
Right.
And we've seen that. And right now, Haji Wright has earned that trust because of the performance against Australia, I believe, in Denver. But he's going to have a massive say because he does play against Coventry, which is coming up after the new year.
Yeah.
He'll play against Aidan Morris's Middlesbrough. So there's some big games that he has coming up. And look, if you're not going to bang in goals for your club team, then this March camp is going to be everything for those two. I think those two are going neck to neck and toe to toe for that seat on the plane. But the front two, on this graphic here, Flo Balogun being healthy, getting back in. He's number one. Ricardo Pepi, good to see him as well. They're the first two choices. This is the battle that's going to go down to the wire.
The thing is that Haji, right, gives you versatility, right? Because he can play left wing, he can play striker. And Patrick Agyemang then just gives you a different profile to all of these players, right? Just because of, he's your big number 9. That
physicality.
If you need to, he's your reference point. Pepe's very mobile. Balogun plays off the shoulder. He likes being played into space. Haji, right, you know, he's likes to drift out wide. Patrick Agyemang is different, although I don't rate him like I do rate Balogun, like I do rate, frankly, like I rate any of these three. I think these three are better than Agyemang, but at a World Cup, sometimes you need that versatility when in a moment of desperation.
Yeah, just very quickly in terms of that, my only question is, Poch has never played him out wide. He's only played him as a center forward, right? So these 4 are going for that number 9 position. And I think you're spot on with the versatility, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what formation does Poch roll with going into the World Cup, and was he valued?
I mean, so if that really is the case, and Pochettino doesn't see Haji Wright as a 9/left winger, to me it's clear. Balogun 1, Pepi 2, and then between these two guys, they're vying for that 3rd spot on, I don't want to sound the plane because the World Cup is here, but for the roster.
What a spot position we're in. Just looking at this, the quality, and we're actually talking about options for the men's national team overall in terms of leading the line. I think that's giving good flavour, good vibes, but I want to hear from some of you in terms of the breakout stars, because I look at both of you and understanding what 2026 is going to bring. So, Nico, looking at the breakout stars potentially for next year, who people we having conversations about, who's front of your line?
For me, Sebastian Berhalter. I don't think, even if you had him on your radar in Major League Soccer, I think you're lying if you say you had him on your radar for the U.S. men's national team. Like to start the year and to be as reliable as he's been for Pochettino. Again, making the pool competitive. Poch, I think that was the main thing that Poch needed to change, the spirit, the energy, the accountability within the squad, and not have your main guys just walk in and think that they're starters. And Sebastian Berhalter has brought this like intangible to the midfield where he fights. He gives you everything. And not only that, he's kind of delivered in friendlies and here and there, but like, Poch uses him and he performs really well. Assists, gets caught into tackles. And without Tyler Adams, forever we were like, oh, what are we going to do with Tyler Adams? Blah, 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 blah. I feel like that worry, it's still a worry, but it's much less because of the competitiveness. And this guy has kind of driven that factor within Poch's squad.
I want to give you a shout because I remember this crystal clear, like it was yesterday. Remember when Vancouver were playing Inter Miami in, I think it was in March, or I'm going to mess up the date, but some Champions Cup, and they beat them, and you said that I think he should be on the national team. You and Tom said that? Yeah, you and Tommy Scoop said that. I remember that because a year ago, I would have never seen this coming. I don't think anyone saw this coming.
Nobody did.
I think he's a great shout.
Nobody did.
Okay, so who's your shout in terms of...
Look, I could have gone a couple different ways, and I know that when I said it pre-production, a couple people were like, but I'm going to go Diego Luna because I remember last summer, Diego Luna was left off the Olympic team. And I thought that it was one of the biggest mistakes that Olympic team could have made. And he was overlooked, underappreciated. You can criticize him for maybe his body shape, but I thought that this Gold Cup was a massive moment for him this past summer. Look, you can critique the hairdo. I like the hairdo. We bring something different.
Yeah, it's
at a time when the U.S. men's national team had confidence at one of the all-time lows we've seen in a long, long time, he rose. He was a character, and I think it's been to his benefit.
How much you want to bet that Luna and Berhalter are going to go to the World Cup?
I'm actually in full confidence in both of those.
Yeah, like I'm willing to put like good money that they'll be on the roster.
I think that's good, especially look at the way that Pochettino's kind of said. You both spoke about it, the culture in terms of the best players will go. That's in the right confidence and understand the team. Of course.
Like let's go back to Berhalter, and I think that was like the.
Let's just remix and go back to Berhalter.
No, to Greg Berhalter, excuse me, the manager last cycle that bred like this complacency within the group. I think in his first cycle he got it right. He took the national team to a new step, but then there was this aura of complacency within the group, within the fans, that they would look down upon Major League Soccer players, and Pochettino has kind of like wiped the slate and said, hey, you MLS players are at the level of the European guys, and there's nothing that says here that anybody deserves a spot on the national team. You need to earn your spot on the national team and win it and show me the determination. And that is the greatest asset you can ask for. It doesn't matter if you're the worst player on, I was going to say Real Salt Lake, on the worst MLS team, right? If Poch believes in you and you show it, you might have a chance of making the World Cup, and that can only be good for the national team.
Man, attitude reflects leadership.
Right.
And leadership goes as far as Christian Pulisic goes, because we need to make sure that we tuck in to everything that is Captain America and what's been great about him so far. And you can get all of the unprecedented behind-the-scenes look as to the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend on Pulisic, as Christian Pulisic looks into that new exclusive detail, exclusive for you on Paramount+.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.